All right, here I'm Andy Morales. We're at Wings Over Broadway by Camino Seco. We're Happy Morales. Our guest today for the high school sports preview show is Cory Noble, head coach of Walden Grove. He's been there 3 years now as a head coach. And we were just talking earlier. I remember when you guys weren't even in school, and now you're one of the powers, if not state Arizona, definitely Southern Arizona, and truly Southern Arizona because you're in Sahuarita. So tell me a little bit about the process. You were on the staff before you were the head coach, the progress you guys have made from an independent team starting out. You're the stepchild of Sahuarita High School, and now you're one of the power programs in the state.
Yeah, it's definitely been a fun process. You know, it's had its challenges. I remember our first couple of years there where we didn't have a home field, so we played all away games every single time. And we didn't have a true field to practice on. We practiced at the outfield of a park baseball field. We couldn't get lines on the field. We couldn't get, in our first year, we didn't have equipment. We used tennis shoes for cones. And we kicked over a shed to practice field goals. Yeah, it was, we called ourselves the Bad News Bears for the first year, I think. But, from there to see it grow and, and then last 3 years since I've taken over, see the boys really buy in and commit. And we got some great kids and, I finally don't get the question, where's Walden Grove nearly as much anymore.
The best way, I guess, to probably build a program would be building a strong defense, which you guys have. Rick Avilar, every time I see his numbers, it's like 16 tackles, 4 or 5 tackles for loss. Thomas Welke is the sack leader in Southern Arizona. Yeah, can you talk about how that defense has evolved for you in these 3 years for you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that last year, our defense was very good. We were one of the top defenses in Southern Arizona. I think statistically we were top 2 or 3 in most of the statistics, for the 4A. And this year, I honestly, we made a scheme change to a 4-2-5, which I think has allowed us to be a little more flexible, get a couple more athletes on the field, and has allowed us to, I think, be even better than what we were last year. It definitely helps when you got a guy like Rick Avilar, there in the middle. We got another great linebacker and junior Sebi Adamski, and those two guys allow us to play with 2 linebackers and really still get after it. We're pretty aggressive. We attack downhill pretty hard. We do get a lot of tackles for loss, which is one of the things that we focus on is 75% of our tackles being assisted or gang tackles, and having tackles for loss is a big thing for us. Tackles for loss and pressures on the quarterback. So it's definitely been a big help for us this year.
Obviously, and you have one of the best athletes in the state. We're talking about when as quarterback having to go both ways, which is a very difficult thing to do, and he's done well on defense and offense. But you also, Alex, who not only catches all these passes, but other quarterbacks think he's their receiver also because he has these interceptions, and that's just a rare talent. Obviously, his brother's quarterback. So tell me about his cousin. Tell me about just that. I mean, I always want to know, what's it like to coach like Big John or coach, something like that, and you have that. Tell me about that kind of stuff. How that feels.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely one of those things that, it definitely makes my job easier. I've been coaching some teams where we didn't have that supreme athlete, where we didn't have that guy, and you're always trying to coach your way into creating those matchups that you can be advantageous in. It's nice, and it's definitely a benefit to have a guy, like Jordan, who can play receiver for you, and the matchups there no matter what. Teams are going to have to account for him, and that opens it up for other players as well. And, it's that guy, he's always going to make that play for you. And, to have confidence, and I think the players have confidence, the coaches have confidence, and our opponents have to worry about that. Like, he's going to make that play every time and anytime he touches it, he's a threat to go 60. Then this year, we've asked him to play defense as well. With our change to a 4-2-5 and needing that extra safety He's a guy who's stepped in and played that position great for us. And you can see, a game like this last week where he has 10 tackles, he's got 2 interceptions, and another pass defended, he has a tackle for loss. And then on the offensive side of the ball, he has 150 yards and 2 touchdowns as well there. He's a nightmare for opposing teams and matchups and all those things. And, it allows us, I think we've got one of the, kids who could be one of the top corners in our region who hasn't even played corner for us yet because he's our quarterback and we haven't needed him to. But we know that we have the ability for him to go out there and play corner and lock people up and do all those things as an athlete as well. It's definitely nice to have those tools in the tool belt.
One of the things that sticks out to me about Walden Grove, I've only been back in Tucson since May of 2018, so the last school year and this school year, and I've covered wrestling, and I haven't had the opportunity to cover your football team yet. I look forward to that opportunity. But between wrestling and football, I think how successful you guys are, that's got to say something about your strength and conditioning program and just the overall mindset of what's going on there in Walden Grove. Can you talk about that? Two sports like that require so much attention to strength and conditioning and being able to perform under pressure situations.
No, absolutely. It's definitely one of those things that I've seen us make the biggest strides since I've been there as the head coach, and that I've focused on with our football program, especially since I've been the head coach, is our strength program. I feel like we got one of the absolute best strength coaches in Southern Arizona and all of Arizona, Jeremy Lai. He does an incredible job for us. The kids, most of the boys, this last year's senior class and then this year's senior class, when you see the numbers they were putting up as freshmen and sophomores to where they are now, our first year, my first summer when I took over, we had a total of, I think, 5 or 6 guys that could do 1,000 pounds, be in the 1,000-pound club for 4 lifts. Bench, squat, dead, and clean. We had 6, I think. This last year, we had 25 that were in the 1,000. We had 25, I think, who were in the 1,000-pound club, and I think we had 11 or 12 who were in 3-lift 1,000-pound club. So it's paid huge dividends for us. It's something that you can definitely see, especially on the O&D line, but also in the skill position. But we've got receivers who are 210, 215, defensive ends that are 220, our middle linebackers 225, and guys that have those height and weight, but also push, weight that's impressive for those type of things. It makes a huge difference. Strength's the ultimate equalizer, and one of the things that we say is you don't got to be talented to lift weights. You don't got to be talented to work hard in the weight room and get strong and see those results and have them pay off for you. And it's one of the things that I'm super proud of, and that I've been really, really pleased with their effort and their commitment to the weight room. Absolutely.
Not only wrestling, but I believe to have one of the top soccer players in Southern Arizona too, which is odd for a football player to be playing football over the winter break. But you're playing Rio Rico. You have a chance to go to 5-1. Rio Rico, you still have to prepare for every team. So tell me what you're looking for this tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Kuhn down there at Rio Rico, he's a really good coach. He was solid when he was at Rio Rico before. Very good at Nogales. They're definitely showing. They're much improved from where they were. But for us, it's a cliche and all that, but we're just trying to go 1-0 each day. It's one of the things that when we talk about it, is it's not the end result, it's the process, and us trying to get better and take a step towards every day and every week towards being that team that we want to be in November. We talked about it since January. We're not going to go 10-0 any day, any week. All we can do is go 1-0 and get better that week and improve that week and win that day, that week, that practice, that rep, whatever it might be. So that's been the challenge and the goal, and we're getting closer and closer to accomplishing that on a day in, day out basis.
One last thing from me with the 4A Gila region, it seems like there's a lot of teams that are improving. Palo Verde, Rio Rico, like you mentioned, Amphi's improved. You guys are proven by leaps and bounds, and then you have Pueblo there, who's been very competitive with Brandon Sanders. The region champion gets an automatic bid to the playoffs in 4A. Can you talk about what you think about that region, and what's it going to take for you guys to get that automatic bid?
No, absolutely, yeah. It's definitely this year that our region is much improved, which is awesome. It's we've got some tough games here coming up, and ultimately, we're trying to repeat as champs, and we're trying to be that team that gets that automatic bid. And it's going to take us improving every week, us, making sure that we're doing the things in the classroom, us doing things that we need to do on the practice field, get in the training room when we need. But staying eligible. We say the best abilities availability. So if we're not taking care of business in the classroom and doing those things to be great, then we're not going to give ourselves a chance. And we're going to have to be, very good this year to get that bid from our region. And I think it's going to pay off that. I think whoever comes out of this division as the champ's going to be a tough out for someone in the playoffs. It's going to put themselves in a good position. It's nice with the teams improving with the PowerPoints and everything that we got an opportunity to hopefully, we take care of our business, be in a better place than where we've been.
I didn't want to leave out Douglas too. They have the Hunter Long as the head coach. He played at U of A. I don't want to leave Douglas out. They're showing some flashes of being a good team also.
Well, in the PowerPoint game, you want your opponents to be good, just not the week they play you. Yeah. But it's much improved, and I don't want your players to even. It's hard for them not to look at the rankings and all the controversy and stuff. But obviously, with South Point pretty secure in the top 8, that's just got to open up for the rest of the state to say, hey, we have a shot. It's a psychological boost, and you guys are just right there. I've seen you took care of Gilbert easily. I know as a coach, you probably don't want to talk about that. South Point took care of Cactus easily, so it's doable. The Phoenix is not that. It's not that gauntlet that we need to worry about, and what you've been able to do in a short period of time, you and Sargent, when you took over, is just incredible. And I remember Walden Grove when it really was a Walden Grove, and it's not that long ago, and I don't know if the 49ers are feeding you guys players now. You have a great middle school wrestling program. So can you talk about the community? What's the community feel about this program?
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things that I think it's been it's taken a while. Cerrito was always a one school town. I grew up down there and everything, and it's been interesting to see that dynamic change a little bit as Walden Grove has started coming into its own. It definitely has taken some time, and has been a process, but it's definitely one of those things that I think people are excited. I think people are excited that both schools are doing pretty well, and that Walden Grove is really making a name for itself in the town. One of the things we try to pride ourselves on is being a positive influence in that community and being something that kids, when they're growing up, they want to go see the Walden Grove football games and be a part of that excitement. Our Pop Warner organization's doing great things. They got huge numbers and they're growing every year. And we got a good partnership going with them. Trying to help each other out and help the kids of the community out. Help the kids of that town in whatever way we can. It's definitely been great to see the success that they're having. Our Onza Trail Middle School wrestling programs, Cerrito Middle School as well, but they're great youth programs with that. One of our coaches we're wrestling academy down there, Dominate Wrestling is also the coach at Onza Trail. That the wrestlers that are coming out of that town are great, and they're coming in very talented and hungry and loving wrestling, and a lot of them are dual sport athletes playing football, playing wrestling, wrestling, baseball, track, doing those things, and that's what we want to do. We have three of the top players in our region in soccer, in Jordan, Ryan Brady, and Nate Alvarenga, all play on all our starters on our football team as well. You know, a lot of great wrestlers like, you know, Rick Avila, our third in the state last year, playing middle linebacker, you know, for us. And, you know, that dual sport athlete and people getting excited about athletics down there in the town, it's been pretty awesome to see.
Well, congratulations, Coach. We're in a little bit. We're going to do a presentation. We have the Player of the Week awards they hand out to many of the players. But thanks for coming.